Have you ever felt sad, but instead told to smile? Have you ever felt disappointed, but instead reprimanded for being considered ungrateful? Or maybe you just want to be heard. But all you get are sentences like, "Everything will be fine." Just think positively. You're better off, try someone else. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Today, we're going to talk about something that's often thought of as a good thing, but can actually be hurtful. We're going to unpack a commonly misunderstood topic, toxic positivity. What is toxic positivity? Toxic positivity is the belief that we must always be positive, no matter how difficult or painful the situation we are experiencing. On the surface, positive thinking seems to be very helpful. We are taught to remain optimistic, to always see the bright side of everything. And indeed, positive thinking can help us get through difficult times. However, toxic positivity is different. Toxic positivity requires us to reject uncomfortable realities. It rejects negative emotions. It rejects sadness. It rejects disappointment. It rejects anger, disappointment, fear, anxiety. All human emotions are seen as weaknesses, as something to be suppressed, denied, and ignored. And this is where the problem begins. Imagine you are falling, injured, bleeding. But the people around you are saying, "Come on, cheer up. Don't be so weak." Instead of being given a bandage, you were given a fake smile. Instead of being accompanied in pain, you were left alone with a wound you were told to ignore. That is an illustration of toxic positivity. Forms of toxic positivity in everyday life. Toxic positivity can come in many forms. Sometimes it comes from other people. Sometimes it comes from yourself. Here are some common examples of toxic positivity that we often don't realize. Times you should be grateful. Many people suffer more than you. Times don't think negatively all the time. It might actually happen. Times come on, cheer up. Don't look sad all the time. Times you're strong. Don't cry. These sentences sound positive, but they often ignore the emotional reality of what a person is going through. Unknowingly, such sentences put pressure on other people's feelings. And worse, they make someone feel guilty just because they feel sad. Even more dangerous when toxic positivity becomes an internal habit. We force ourselves to be happy all the time. We feel like failures if we feel angry, scared, or disappointed. In fact, all emotions are valid, human, normal. Why can toxic positivity hurt? First, toxic positivity denies reality. In life, we will face sadness, loss, failure, and pain. It is not because we are weak, but because we are alive. Toxic positivity invites us to avoid all negative emotions. In fact, it is precisely by experiencing and acknowledging pain that we can recover. Second, toxic positivity inhibits emotional processing. When negative emotions are suppressed, they do not disappear. They just settle, accumulate, and one day they can explode. People who continue to hold back tears can experience burnout. People who bottle up anger can explode in destructive anger. Suppressed negative emotions are a time bomb. Third, toxic positivity makes someone feel isolated. Imagine you are going through a hard time, and your friend says, "Oh, Don't be dramatic. Just enjoy life. You feel unheard, ununderstood, unaccepted. And when you start to believe that your sadness is wrong, you start to feel alone. In fact, what you need is not a solution, but emotional support. Fourth, toxic positivity creates unrealistic standards of happiness. We feel like we have to always be happy. In fact, no one is happy all the time. The pressure to always appear positive makes us wear a mask. We become afraid to be honest. Afraid to appear vulnerable. Afraid to appear human. And finally, toxic positivity can trigger feelings of guilt. We feel guilty because we feel sad. We feel weak because we feel afraid. We feel not strong enough because we feel like a failure. Even though there is nothing wrong with those feelings. What can we do? If toxic positivity isn't the answer, then what is? The answer is emotional validation. First, allow yourself to feel. Sadness, anger, disappointment, fear, they are all valid. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to be happy all the time. You just have to be honest with yourself. Second, practice empathy, not advice. When your friends are feeling down, sometimes they don't need a solution. They just need to be heard. Instead of saying, "Come on, cheer up," try saying, "I hear you. That must be hard. I'm here if you need to talk." Third, recognize and deal with your emotions healthily. Write in a journal. Talk to someone you trust. Or, consult a professional if necessary. Feeling emotions is not a weakness. It is a step towards recovery. Fourth, stop comparing. Don't belittle your pain just because others seem to be suffering more. Pain cannot be compared. Everyone's wounds are unique. Fifth, make room for emotional honesty. Don't be afraid to say, "I'm not okay." That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. Replacing toxic positivity with real support. Here are some ways to replace toxic positivity with real support. Instead of saying, "Everything will be fine," say, "I don't know when it will all be over, but I will be there for you." Instead of saying, "You should be grateful," say, "What you're feeling is valid. It's okay if you can't be grateful right now." Instead of saying, "Just think positive thoughts," say, "You can feel angry or sad. That's normal." True support is about being there. Not fixing, not giving advice, but being there. Being a safe space for uncomfortable emotions. And that is the truest form of love. Life is not just about being happy. Sometimes we need to be sad. Sometimes we need to be angry. Sometimes we just want to feel. Without having to explain. Without having to feel guilty. Thinking positively is good. But forcing positivity all the time can hurt. Toxic positivity is not about power. It is about escape. Escape from reality, from pain, from emotional honesty. Thank you for watching. If you feel connected with this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with friends or family who need it. Remember, you don't always have to be strong. See you in the next video.